I was around before then as a singer in a band in Newcastle. Not as an actor. Acting was something that happened pretty much by chance.
Mm.
The music started when I was about 16, so that would be in about 1970, 71. I started singing with bands in the Northeast.
How did you get into Auf Wiedersehen, Pet?
Pretty much by accident. I was asked if I wanted to go along to an audition that they were having, kind of open auditions for extras and things like that, for a TV program that ITV were planning to make. I didn't actually want to go along. My then girlfriend, who's my now wife, insisted I went along and said, "Go on, go on. You never know what might happen." Oh, my goodness. That was an understatement. Certainly a fortuitous comment. And anyway, I went along. To cut a very long story short, I was offered one of the main parts in the series, and it went on to be immensely popular.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody who arrived in that series, went on to do so many different things. It made household names of just about everybody in the show, didn't it?
Yeah, most of the guys involved had been successful as actors up to that point. I was the only person who'd never done any acting before. But as you say, it made them all household names, and they were all a lot more famous. Certainly a lot more famous after that series, which would be a bit of a double-edged sword in certain ways. But we've all done well over the years.
The music business particularly, was it always what you wanted to do? Because your dad was a professional footballer, wasn't he? Were you ever any good?
I wasn't bad. I'm not sure if I would have made it to the highest level. My dad played professional football before the Second World War, so it was in the late 30s. Whether I would have been good enough to cut it as a pro footballer, I'm not sure. I was a tall kid at the time, so I probably would have made an okay centre half, but it was like a beanpole, so I probably wouldn't have been strong enough to cope with the strong tackles that were around in those days.
I mean, if you could have changed, though, looking back, would you have given up what you have now to play for Newcastle?
Oh, no, it would have meant years and years of heartbreak. No, certainly not. I would have been thrilled. As a kid, I would have loved to have been a footballer. Obviously, if I'd have had any success as a football player, it would have been long gone by now, because the great thing about acting is you can do it until the day you drop. Yeah. Whereas as a footballer, you really have a limited shelf life. It's pretty much, although they're pushing the boundaries now, still it's pretty much over by your mid-30s.
Well, I think it's fair to say that of everything you've achieved in your life so far, you've had the sort of career that you could never have planned.
No, and I certainly didn't plan it either. I'm not a great believer in planning. I'm more a believer in, if things are meant to happen, they'll happen.
Spender, Crocodile Shoes came along, and you had more than an actor's say in those, didn't you?
Yeah, I co-produced and co-wrote Spender, and I wrote and produced and starred in Crocodile Shoes. So I was involved in the behind the cameras setup, if you like.
Was that more rewarding for you to see the total concept from start to finish?
It was in the beginning, but I think now, with hindsight, I was trying to do one or two things too many. I just wanted to. I used to so love everything to do with television programming and making television and the workings of television, that I just wanted to be involved in everything, and thankfully I'm over that now.
We'll talk about Evita as well, because quite a cast as well. Phenomenal success for that film, because it had been in the making for many, many years, and nobody really knew how it would ever transfer to the big screen. But you must have been pleased with that.
Yes, it was a fantastic adventure. I mean, just in terms of working on a massive, big budget American movie like that, working with Alan Parker, the director, for 8 or 9 months, and becoming very good friends with him was a lovely thing that came out of it. Spending 8 or 9 months with Madonna, the same, just an extraordinary adventure, and I got to see some wonderful parts of the world. We spent 3 months in Buenos Aires. We spent a couple of months in Europe, in Budapest and Hungary. So it was really, really wonderful to be at the top end of the financial end of filmmaking. It was a fantastic adventure.
Thanks so much for listening to this video. If you enjoyed it, please click on the like button. Make sure you ring that notification bell to be informed of any future videos. And above all, if you possibly can, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.